The most dangerous black man in history, Huey P. Newton. Huey P. Newton. The name itself conjures a mix of admiration and fear. Was he a revolutionary hero fighting for the liberation of black people, or a dangerous radical advocating violence and chaos? The truth, as always, is far more complex. Newton's story is a critical piece of American history, one that forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about race, power, and justice. Born in Louisiana in 1942, Newton's early life was marked by poverty and racial discrimination. His family migrated to Oakland, California, seeking better opportunities, but found similar struggles. Newton struggled with reading, but he was intellectually curious. He taught himself to read and devoured books on history, philosophy, and political theory. These readings shaped his worldview, exposing him to the ideas of Malcolm X, Frantz Fanon, and Che Guevara. He began to see the systemic oppression faced by black people in America. In 1966, Newton, along with Bobby Seale, founded the Black Panther Party for self-defense. Their initial goal was simple: to protect black communities from police brutality. They armed themselves legally and began patrolling the streets of Oakland, monitoring police activity. This bold act of defiance resonated with many black people who felt unprotected by the system. The Black Panthers' 10-point program outlined their core demands: freedom, full employment, decent housing, education, and an end to police brutality. It was a comprehensive vision for black liberation. The Black Panthers were more than just armed revolutionaries. They understood that true liberation required addressing the social and economic needs of the community. They established free breakfast programs for children, health clinics, and legal aid services. These programs were vital lifelines in underserved communities. These initiatives demonstrated the Panthers' commitment to empowering black people from the ground up. They were building a movement based on self-reliance and mutual aid. The Black Panthers' confrontational stance towards law enforcement made them a target of the FBI's COINTELPRO program. This covert operation aimed to disrupt and dismantle the Black Panther Party. Newton himself faced numerous legal challenges, including charges of murder and assault. These charges, often politically motivated, kept him entangled in the legal system for years. The media often portrayed the Black Panthers as violent thugs, fueling public fear and animosity. This negative portrayal overshadowed their community work and political activism. As the Black Panther Party grew, it faced internal divisions and ideological shifts. Newton's leadership style became increasingly authoritarian, leading to conflicts with other members. He advocated for revolutionary suicide, a controversial philosophy that emphasized self-sacrifice and unwavering commitment to the cause. This ideology alienated some members. The party also grappled with questions of strategy and tactics. Should they focus on armed self-defense, community organizing, or electoral politics? These debates fractured the movement. In the 1970s, Newton fled to Cuba to avoid prosecution. He spent several years in exile, reflecting on the successes and failures of the Black Panther Party. He eventually returned to the United States, but his legal troubles continued. He struggled with drug addiction and faced further accusations of violence. His later years were marked by personal struggles and a decline in his political influence. The revolutionary icon had become a tragic figure. Huey P. Newton was shot and killed in Oakland in 1989. The circumstances surrounding his death remain controversial, with some claiming it was a drug-related dispute, while others suspect foul play. Regardless of the circumstances, his death marked the end of an era. The Black Panther Party, once a powerful force for change, had largely dissolved. But Newton's legacy endures. He remains a symbol of black resistance and a reminder of the ongoing struggle for racial justice. Huey P. Newton was not a saint. He was a flawed human being who made mistakes, but he was also a visionary leader who dared to challenge the status quo. He forced America to confront its history of racial oppression and to acknowledge the humanity of black people. He inspired a generation to fight for a better world. His story is a reminder that the fight for justice is never easy, and that even the most revolutionary figures are capable of both great good and great harm. What can we learn from the life and legacy of Huey P. Newton? Perhaps the most important lesson is the need for constant vigilance against injustice. We must continue to challenge systemic oppression and to fight for equality for all. We must also be willing to hold our leaders accountable, even those who claim to be fighting for our cause. Newton's story reminds us that true liberation requires both political action and community empowerment. It requires addressing the root causes of inequality and building a society based on justice and compassion. Huey P. Newton was a complex and controversial figure, but his impact on American history is undeniable. He was a revolutionary, a community organizer, and a symbol of Black resistance. He was also a flawed human being who made mistakes. But his story is a reminder that the fight for justice is never over, and that we must continue to strive for a more just and equitable world. The legacy of Huey P. Newton challenges us to confront our own biases and to work towards a future where all people are treated with dignity and respect. He was and remains a force to be reckoned with.